this is Rochelle and welcome to my channel. I put out a post on Facebook and Instagram last night asking if you would be interested to see how I made these traveler's notebooks. So I made my own for this leather insert, and then also what I do annually is I make a book for each of the girls. This was last year, and then I fill it with memories and all kinds of fun things, and then they have these in a journal or a dory or cover of their own. So for this year I used the Piatek papers for theirs, and I just made some taggies with some Tim Holtz alpha stickers and started with decorating the first page so that I could do the opening letter for 2019. I don't do it in the very beginning of the year because there's nothing to document yet. So I have a little list of what I want to put in there. So let me tell you what we'll need to do this today. You'll need a craft mat. A self-healing cutting mat is best. It already has measurements on in whatever your local country's system is. Ours is metric, so I've got metric. Cutting mat, a steel or metal ruler, mostly because we're going to be working with a cutting blade, which means that if you use a plastic ruler, it will cut off the edges. This is a very sturdy one. And then a cutting blade. I've got the Prima Marketing one. This was gifted to me by my dear friend. It's got a bit of a softer grip, so it doesn't hurt my hands as much. Then the inners will be white paper, or if you choose to put in some vellum in between with some pictures on, you can do any of that. I use a thicker paper, so this is a 160 GSM paper as opposed to the normal copying paper that's 80 GSM. The reason why I do that is so that it would withstand medium if I put medium on. So this is gel medium and lots of water with some infusions powders. So it would need to handle that. And the 160 GSM paper does that pretty well. I generally take 4 of these in an insert. I find that it's more than enough space, and it doesn't, when I add elements or slightly dimensional pieces, it doesn't blow my tin all apart. So there's enough space for that. And then for today I'm going to be using this pretty paper from Awakening from the Piatek range. And what I want to do is I want this part as my cover. Okay, so the measurements in metric, sorry, I'll have to get a converter and do it in a different style, is 21 centimeters down, which is the size of normal paper. Most of the tins are like slightly shorter, but it doesn't bother me, and it fits fine into all my leather covers. And then it is 22 centimeter over, so 11. I cut my cover just slightly bigger. So let's do the measurements here. I want this on, so I know that my piece is here. I'm going to put it on this side, and I'm going to measure out 22 centimeters. Just going to get it on a straight line here. Make sure it's straight everywhere. Okay, great, it's fine. Find my 22 centimeter and then cut it through. Okay, so that's done. So this is the 22 centimeter, which means that this and this will make out the cover folded like this way of the TN. Then across, for the top to bottom, I want this piece. So I can't line it up here and then cut 21 because I want this piece. So I've got to take it down from 21. So let's do that again on the other side. It's just easier to cut. So that must be 22, that's right, and 21. Anyone else talk to themselves while they do these things? I need some encouragement sometimes, so I just let myself know, good job. Okay, and then we cut all the way through. So this side is also going to be cut all the way through. Did I do it wrong now? That would be hilarious. Do my first one live wrong. No, it's still right. I just need to cut this through. Obviously don't throw away any of your off cuts, because you can fussy cut and you can mount your pictures on this, use it inside your TN, which means then that you've got a similar theme going throughout. Okay, so then what you would need is a bone folder, which I have. Bone folder. And you would fold this across, matching the sides, and then getting it nice and flat using your bone folder. So then that would be my cover. Going to be cutting these 4 papers in the same way. If you have a guillotine, obviously you can do a guillotine. I somehow get the guillotine all skew every time. So I like using this craft knife because I do it one by one and I take special care and I know it's done right. So these, remember, must be 22 centimeters across. Centimeters across, and the page is already 21 or just under 21, so in height. My husband says I have painter's thumb. You know, like tennis elbow. I have painter's thumb. So I told him it can't be because it's not the thumb that I work with. So he laughed a little, and then he watched me do this and said to me, there's why your thumb hurts. Because I pressed down on it, and yeah. So I probably wouldn't be doing this like a gazillion all at once. Make them as you need them. The 160 GSM paper, I know that you get Techniques paper also that that do quite well with the mixed media. I don't intend on doing extreme mixed media on this, and the 160 GSM works just fine for me. I buy mine locally at a place called Westpac. They have them in packs of 100. It's the Butterfly or Marlin brand, and it works out pretty cost effective, to use my husband's terms. Even these white offcuts I don't throw away. I am not a hoarder at all. Like, I throw away everything, but these ones I don't throw away. I make most of my notes and things on those so that it is in a nice size that I can stick into my traveler's notebooks if I need to copy it later or make my shopping list or whatever. It's really quick. If I need a list for a class, that's what I do. Then the next thing you'll need is a corner chomper. This is not a necessary part of this step or of this book, but I like the rounded corners. I do not like the straight corners, so I round my corners, and I'm trying to do them 2-2 now, which yeah, might not come out right, but that's fine. And then that's what you would do with all of these. Don't jump the wrong side. Okay. Throw that away. And now's the time to assemble. Like I said, you could use vellum inside here. You could put pretty much anything you want inside here. So put them in one and the other. I have seen people sew these. Good for you. I can't sew to save my life, so I'm not sewing. Now, if you remember, I said that I cut my cover just slightly bigger so that it doesn't look unneat when I have them all together and bound and the edges stick out too far, etc., etc. I use just a regular, I'm saying regular, long reach stapler. So it has a space in here that the whatever you're stapling can go in all the way there. This one I got from Takealot. It was fairly cost effective. And they delivered it in a big fat box. At first I thought I may have won a laptop because the box was that big. Then you just line up your staple on that fold. Oops, this one's slightly off. And then you have your staples in, you have your booklet done. And you can insert it in your TN. If you have open elastics, which I don't think I have, put it in and Bob's your uncle, as they say. I hope this was helpful. I hope you'll be making a lot of your own traveler's notebooks using your stash. We all have stash of scrapbook paper. So here's what you can do with those. Hope you enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye-bye.